mind is your enemy. Here's how to control it. The human mind is possibly the most intricate and powerful instrument that exists. It is the wellspring of our creativity, intelligence, empathy, and ability to innovate. Yet in a strange twist, it's also the origin of our fears, anxieties, insecurities, self-doubt, and destructive tendencies. The very mind that can construct dreams is equally capable of conjuring nightmares. For many people, the biggest barrier to happiness, peace, and success doesn't come from the outside world. It arises from within their own minds. In this discussion, we'll explore why the mind can turn against us and, more importantly, how to take back control and transform it into our greatest asset. The dual nature of the mind. Your mind isn't inherently good or bad. It's a neutral tool, much like fire. It has the power to either warm you or burn you, depending on how it's managed. The mind was designed for thinking, analyzing, planning, and problem-solving. But when it's not guided intentionally, it can spiral into rumination, catastrophizing, and endless cycles of negativity. This duality makes the mind both a potential savior and, at the same time, a subtle saboteur. Number 1. Self-sabotage and negative thinking. A lot of people discover that their mind often works against them by feeding them limiting beliefs. Things like, "I'm not good enough," "What if I fail?" or "People are going to judge me." These kinds of thoughts can freeze you in place and stop you from taking meaningful steps forward. They typically originate from past experiences, unresolved trauma, or deeply embedded mental patterns. 2. The inner critic. Everyone has an internal voice that narrates their day-to-day experiences. When this voice turns harsh and judgmental, it becomes what's often referred to as the inner critic. It critiques your every move, fixates on your mistakes, and minimizes your accomplishments. This voice can be relentless and more damaging than any criticism coming from others. 3. Anxiety and overthinking. The ability of the mind to anticipate the future can be both a gift and a curse. While it helps us prepare and plan, it also gives rise to chronic anxiety when it fixates on unknowns. Overthinking resembles a mental treadmill. You're expending energy, yet staying in the same place. 4. The illusion of control. The mind has a deep desire for control and certainty. When it lacks these, it tends to panic and compensates by obsessing over countless what-ifs. This overcompensation results in more stress, frustration, and mental exhaustion. Why the mind becomes the enemy. A variety of factors contribute to why the mind frequently turns against us. 1. Evolutionary programming. From an evolutionary perspective, our brains are built to scan for threats and hold on to negative experiences. This negativity bias was once necessary for survival in dangerous environments, but has become far less useful in modern life. Now, it simply amplifies stress and anxiety, even in situations that pose no real threat. 2. Conditioning and social influence. From a young age, we are conditioned by parents, teachers, media, and cultural systems to adopt certain beliefs, both about ourselves and about how the world works. These external influences mold our self-image and worldview, often in limiting or disempowering ways. 3. Trauma and unhealed wounds. Emotional wounds that haven't been addressed tend to resurface in the form of recurring thoughts, behaviors, and unconscious cycles. The mind continues replaying those painful memories, creating a loop that reinforces inner suffering. How to regain control of your mind. Controlling your mind isn't about suppressing it. It's about learning to understand, manage, and train it, much like a muscle. 1. Cultivate mindfulness. Mindfulness means observing your thoughts without attaching judgment to them. It creates space between the stimulus and your response, allowing you to choose your reaction instead of being driven by impulse. Practices include meditation. Spend 10 to 20 minutes each day simply observing your breath and your thoughts. Mindful breathing. Focus closely on each inhale and exhale when you're feeling overwhelmed. Body scans. Tune into the sensations in your body to anchor yourself in the now. Benefits include reduced anxiety, enhanced emotional regulation, improved clarity, and greater calm. 2. Challenge and reframe negative thoughts. Cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, highlights the importance of recognizing and restructuring negative thought patterns. Steps to try. First, identify the thought. I'm going to fail. Then, question its truth. What evidence do I have for this? Finally, reframe it. I've prepared and I'll do my best. This approach gradually retrains your brain to lean toward more balanced and rational thinking. 3. Practice detachment. You are not your thoughts. Most of them arise automatically and do not represent objective reality. Learning to separate yourself from these thoughts restores your power. Techniques include labeling. Recognize, this is just a thought. Visualization. Picture the thought like a leaf floating downstream. Writing. Journal your thoughts to observe them more clearly on paper. 4. Create a mental hygiene routine. Just as your body requires regular care, your mind needs consistent maintenance. Daily habits to try. Journaling. Keep track of your thoughts and emotions. Gratitude practice. Write down 3 things you're grateful for each day. Digital detox. Limit your time on social media and news platforms. Sleep and nutrition. Remember that physical well-being directly affects mental well-being. Train your focus. Your attention is an incredibly valuable resource. Where you place it determines your mental and emotional state. Ways to strengthen it. Use the Pomodoro technique. Work in 25-minute focused intervals. Try concentration exercises like candle gazing or undistracted reading. Avoid multitasking. Do one thing at a time with full presence. 6. Feed your mind wisely. What you feed your mind shapes your thinking. Be deliberate about the content you consume. Positive inputs include inspirational books, educational podcasts, uplifting conversations, time in nature, and silence. Avoid toxic news cycles, gossip, drama, and violent or overly negative media. 7. Build a strong inner identity. A grounded, self-aware identity provides stability amid mental chaos. Ask yourself, what do I truly value? Who am I beyond roles and labels? What kind of person do I aim to become? Use affirmations like, I am resilient and adaptable. I grow through what I go through. 8. Embrace discomfort. The mind tries to avoid discomfort, but growth requires stepping outside the comfort zone. Training yourself to handle discomfort changes how you relate to fear and anxiety. Ways to build resilience. Take cold showers, engage in public speaking, try fasting, or seek out deliberate challenges. Each time you face something hard, you build mental toughness and weaken fear's control over you. 9. Seek support when needed. You don't have to navigate your inner world alone. Therapists, coaches, and support groups can offer guidance, insight, and tools. Seeking help isn't a weakness. It's a courageous acknowledgement that you're ready to evolve. 10. Make peace with your mind. Ultimately, gaining control over your mind is less about dominating it and more about guiding it with compassion and awareness. Much like a wild horse, the mind can be trained with patience and care. Work with it rather than fighting it. Respect its power, train it consistently, learn its patterns, and most importantly, lead it with clarity. Your mind has the potential to be either your greatest enemy or your most powerful ally, and the difference depends on your level of awareness and intentional effort. By embracing tools such as mindfulness, cognitive reframing, focus training, and self-compassion, you can transcend the internal chaos and reclaim authorship of your life. Always remember, you are not your thoughts. You are the observer of them. And once you learn to guide and direct your mind, you unlock the deepest kind of freedom, the ability to choose your internal reality regardless of external circumstances. Taking back control, turning the mind into an ally. When left to its own devices, the mind can easily become your worst adversary. It can rehash past failures, imagine disastrous futures, distort your self-worth, and trap you in patterns of fear and comparison. But the empowering truth is this: your mind is programmable. Like a wild horse, it can lead you into danger if left untrained. But once it's tamed, it can carry you anywhere you want to go. 1. Awareness is the gatekeeper. The first and most important step in mastering your mind is cultivating awareness. Many people operate on autopilot, believing they are consciously making choices, when in reality they're reacting to old wounds, unconscious fears, and inherited beliefs. Awareness is like flipping on a light in a dark room. You finally begin to see what's been driving your behavior. Become the observer. When your mind starts spinning stories, pause and ask, is this true? Is it helpful? Is it even necessary? You're not obligated to believe every thought you think. Even 5 minutes of mindfulness meditation per day, sitting with your breath and watching your thoughts, can create powerful mental space. The thoughts won't stop, but they will begin to lose their grip. 2. Name the inner saboteurs. The mind often attacks using familiar internal voices. The critic, the perfectionist, the catastrophizer, the victim, the people pleaser. Give these voices names. Visualize them as characters. Doing so creates distance between you and them. Now you can say, that's just my inner critic speaking, instead of believing the message as truth. This emotional distance makes you more intentional in how you respond. You can even dialogue with these voices. Thanks for trying to protect me, but I've got this. 3. Rewire with intention. Your brain is constantly changing. It adapts to what you feed it. If you continually feed it fear, worry, and negativity, those neural pathways will get stronger. But you can also strengthen new, empowering ones. How to rewire? Practice daily gratitude. Affirm your values and self-worth. Visualize your ideal life with feeling. Replace toxic self-talk with compassionate truths. Use reminders, sticky notes, alarms, or mantras to trigger positivity. This is not fantasy, it's deliberate mental training. 4. Limit input. Protect your mental space. A lot of mental noise and anxiety comes from what you expose your mind to. The news, social media, chaotic environments, and negative people can fill your mental space with fear, outrage, and confusion. Your mind absorbs impressions constantly, so treat it like sacred ground. Be selective with what you consume. Cut down on content that agitates or drains you. Choose uplifting, truth-centered inputs instead. Follow people and ideas that nourish you. 5. Develop a warrior mindset. Your mind prefers comfort, certainty, and safety, but none of those places create real growth. Building mental toughness requires training. It means willingly facing discomfort and walking through fear. How to toughen up? Wake up earlier. Take cold showers. Lift weights. Say no when it's hard. Try something that scares you. Each small act sends a signal to your mind. I'm in control now. Confidence, discipline, and resilience are muscles. Build them through repeated action. 6. Create meaning and purpose. A restless mind is often one without clear purpose. When you're aligned with a cause, mission, or vision larger than yourself, petty doubts and fears lose their grip. Purpose gives your energy direction. Ask yourself, what do I care about? What do I want to create, teach, heal, or share? Write it down. Revisit it often. Let your purpose become the compass that centers you when the mind drifts into doubt or fear. 7. Accept you are not your mind. This is the most freeing truth. You are not your mind. You are the awareness behind it. The mind is your tool, not your master. You are not broken if your mind is noisy. You are not weak because it makes up stories. You're human. And humans can learn to work with their minds instead of being controlled by them. Every time you interrupt a negative thought, every time you take action instead of freezing, every time you speak truth to fear, you reclaim power. Little by little, the mind stops being an enemy and starts becoming an ally. The battle takes place within, but so does the victory. No one can win this fight for you. Not your friends, your therapist, your mentor, or even your spiritual teacher. You have to train your own mind. You must walk into the fire of your own fears and emerge stronger, not burned. Progress won't come overnight, but it will come if you stay consistent. Just like tending a garden, the weeds of self-doubt and fear will keep growing. But now you know how to spot them, uproot them, and plant something better in their place. So next time your mind starts acting like your enemy, don't panic, don't resist. Smile and say, I see you, but I choose peace. Then breathe, refocus, move forward. You are not at the mercy of your mind. What are your views on this? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I will personally read all of your comments. And if you seriously want to level up in life, don't forget to show some love by hitting the like and subscribe button. Stay strong. Until next time.